You don't have to be a gamer to use this cool looking mouse. Let's check it out. Dave Taylor here, and if you're like me, you spend a lot of time on laptops. Windows, PC, Linux, whatever it is, you're just spending tons of time on these convenient little devices that inevitably stick you in the trackpad world. Now, for a lot of people, trackpads work fine, but there's something to be said about that classic mouse interface. Invented a long time ago, it's had generations to iterate and really hit its mark. So, modern mice are really pretty remarkable pieces of technology, and for a very small investment, you can really change the way you interact with your computer. It'll give you more precision, an easier ability to move around on the screen, and if you're a gamer, it'll give you way faster response time and the ability to really be moving and getting things done and shooting people and defending against the aliens, whatever the heck you're into. Now, gamers also have a really kind of interesting edge on the market because they're into the bling and the light up and the neon and the fluorescent, and that's exactly what I'm looking at today. I'm looking at this. This is so cool. This is the Roccat Burst Pro gaming mouse, and it is really remarkable in a lot of ways. So first off, let's start at the bottom. It's a 16,000 DPI accuracy, so DPI is dots per inch. And that means if you're doing something like doing video editing or working on a graphic, or if you're gaming, then moving this around is incredibly precise. There's a huge amount of data in even just 1 square inch, so it can really differentiate the tiniest motions. Now, the other thing to note is these blue things on the bottom. These are heat-treated base feet. They call these mouse skates. And it even comes with a spare set if you wear these out, though I don't know how long it would take for you to do that. But what it does is it means that the motion on your surface is super easy. I mean, you barely have to touch it. I have a feeling if I blew really hard, the mouse would move, which is exactly what you want. You don't want tension or friction because you want to have it be super responsive to your physical gestures. So on the top part, and let me give you some close-ups as I talk, this is a 6-button mouse. The main buttons you'll be using are left, right, and the scroll wheel, but notice just behind the scroll wheel there's a DPI button. So you can actually, if you need to have it be really precise, you can switch DPI on the fly by just tapping it. And then you'll be able to have it be very precise in one little area. Then you tap it again and you go back to being able to move all over your screen. It's pretty cool. Now, the buttons themselves are actually powered by what's known as Titan switch optical switches. And they're supposed to be faster than mechanical switches. The idea is that I click and immediately it actually has sent the signal and it's on the computer and it's already reacted. Now, in my experience, hands-on, I don't know that it felt any faster than a regular mechanical mouse, but all of the motion and sensitivity and stuff are so cool anyway, so I didn't really care. The cable is also interesting, and I wish I could get this cable for other types of cables. It is a sort of fabric, and it's very flexible. They call this the Phantom Flex, flexible cable, right? All these companies have fancy names for everything. And what it means is even with this all bundled up like that, I can just move this around and not even think about the cable. It's not putting any resistance. It's not tending to move the mouse in a specific, particular direction or anything. It really feels like a wireless mouse. And I'm not a huge fan of wireless mice generally, because then you have to worry about charging and power, and you probably need a dongle to put into a USB port. So something like this, I feel like you're getting all the benefits of a wireless mouse without actually having to worry about any of that. So it's kind of a stress-free environment. It is also pretty much symmetric. I guess it's a symmetric mouse design. And it is very ergonomic. It's very comfortable on your hands. You can just rest your fingers on top of the buttons and move things around. And it is, by default, a right-handed design, but there's a software app you can download that lets you have just huge amount of control over the mouse. We'll get there in just a minute. Now, the big thing about this, of course, is the lighting. And there are multiple light modes, by default, it uses what Roccat calls their AIMO, which is supposedly AI motion, their AIMO lighting. And what that's supposed to do is it's supposed to synchronize lighting across multiple Roccat devices. They also make headphones. So the idea is that your headphones might be glowing purple the same time your mouse is. Why that matters? Seriously, it matters because it's bling, man. It matters because it looks cool. So I thought, how can I show you the lighting even though I'm in a well-lit environment? And I thought, all right, we're going to go into the dark. So I'm going to cut away and you're going to get your 30 seconds of mouse lighting zen. Wasn't that relaxing? Isn't that nice? Now here's the thing, is that you can actually change lighting patterns. You can actually do all sorts of things with this. The app I mentioned earlier, Swarm, is just something you download from their website. It's free. It goes, you install it, you run it. It's not super easy to figure out how to install it. They could do with maybe some instructions, but you'll figure it out, I suspect. And then you install it, and then you get 4 different levels of settings. So the default settings you can see here, there's a fair number of things you can modify there. But then you can go to button assignments and you can change what every single button, there are 6 buttons on this mouse, you can change what every single one does. Then you can go to illumination and you can see there's a lot of settings here. There's a lot of different ways. You can have this breathe, you can have it flash, you can have it do a heartbeat pattern, whatever it is you enjoy. You can even have it time out. So maybe if it hasn't been touched for a couple of hours, then it just powers down the lighting so that if you have it in your room at night and you're asleep, you don't have this weird little mouse night light, although you might like that. And then the 4th option is the advanced settings. And again, the level of control you get through this software is pretty remarkable. Now, reality is you might never make any changes at all. You might like the default. I like the default, that honeycomb backlit and having it sort of fade between colors and go through the rainbow is really pretty festive. I like it quite a bit. I should also mention that the mouse is also super light. This is 2.4 ounces. So it's not, there are some mice out there that are pretty heavy because they're made out of really heavy duty plastics. This is a much more well thought out design. So really lots and lots to like. It comes with, as I said, the extra mouse skates. Tell me Disney's not going to get after them at some point. You can't call it mouse skates. And it comes with instructions in, I don't know, 15 languages or something. So the instructions don't actually tell you to grab that Swarm software. So I'm just telling you, if you get this mouse, go to roccat.org/support and you can grab their Swarm driver and control software. It is only Windows. If you want to plug this into a Mac, you might just get default behavior. But hey, it's intended to be a Windows gamer mouse, but you can use it if you're not a gamer. And if you are a gamer, I have a sense you're going to really enjoy it. If you're using a mouse already, this is going to give you more precision and, of course, that really cool color scheme. So what are the downsides? Well, I guess the one downside is that it is redundant with the trackpad if you're using it on a laptop or notebook. So maybe that's inefficient. But other than that, I don't really have any downsides. This is just a really nice mouse. It's, I think, at a reasonable price point, and I really like all the light up stuff. I think Roccat has a pretty nice line of gear for your PC anyway, so this is just another of the same. So we need to talk about price. But before we get to price, I'm going to ask if you would be so kind as to subscribe to my channel. It's that little red button on the lower right. Just click or tap and you're subscribed. Really appreciate that. Great. This is the Roccat Burst Pro gaming mouse, and it comes in this black or in white, and it's $59.99 at bestbuy.com. It's also on Amazon, but Amazon, the black version's out of stock, and you can only get the white one, and you can probably find it in other online stores around the internet too. But $59.99 for a light up, super precise mouse that you're gonna be like, how was I suffering through my previous pointers when I could have just gotten this? Definitely one worth checking out, and one that I recommend, and I'm gonna be keeping this on my computer because this is so much more pleasant and so much easier for me than using the trackpad. So for me, it's an efficiency thing. For you, it might just look really cool in the dark. So all good either way, and I will hope to catch you in my next video.